Okay, I've got a fun topic. Let's talk about pointe shoes, and in particular my own personal collection. I've been asked to do this video a number of times and I'm finally getting around to doing it, so let's have a chat. I'm pretty sure when I was a young student, about 12 or 13, when I first got into pointe shoes, I was wearing a block Sonata. Really liked those, and then I sort of moved into Gainer-Minden world when I was a little bit stronger on my feet. And Mum liked those because they lasted longer and I liked the shape of them. So I probably wore those from 13 to 14 years. And then the problem was when I went down to the Australian Ballet School, we were able to get much cheaper pointe shoes. Like instead of $100, we were paying $30 or $40 a pair. So basically less than half price. And with that, our shoes had a company member's name on them. So see how, for example, this block pair has heritage written on the back. So our shoes, if we found a pair of the company member's shoes that we liked and fitted us well, we could buy them for a very reduced price. Too bad if you didn't find a pair that you liked. My mum basically said to me, find a pair, Georgia, because you're going through a pair a week, you need to have some cheap pointe shoes. So I actually ended up wearing the beautiful Lucinda Dunn's pointe shoes. And so all my pointe shoes when I was at the Australian Ballet School had Dunn written on the sole. But yeah, so that's what I wore for a really long time. So I actually don't know really what style of pointe shoe that was. I'm guessing they were similar to what I was already wearing. But yeah, they all had Dunn on the bottom. Then later in life, when I needed a pair, I went back to a Heritage. You'll see this is a 3X. I have very wide feet and I quite like the Heritage. I find a lot of my students wear these. They're just a beautiful shape and I like that they're quite wide. I always have liked a wide box and I quite enjoy just the shape of them. So that's what I've worn for ages. I did go to Paris and have a pointe shoe fitting and I ended up buying a pair of Repetto pointe shoes just for fun. I ended up not really liking them. These are actually called the Alicia. Now the Alicia pair, I ended up in a 6.5 or 39.5 LM. And so they're very beautiful. Like look at this satin, they're just stunning. They also look really nice because I haven't really worn them, but look how stunning they are. I mean, they're just gorgeous. Basically, they fit beautifully. I broke these in about 2 seconds. I just don't feel my foot does not feel very supported in them. But I was kind of sold because the ribbons were already sewn on. I don't like sewing ribbons on, so that pretty much sold me. But these have very much turned into just a very pretty pair and a lovely memory and experience I had trying on pointe shoes in Paris with my sister. But yes, they just look pretty. Prettiest pointe shoes I've owned. Now, my technical go-to, if I'm going to film a course or if I'm going to do a class and I need pointe shoes, this is the pair I'm going to wear. They are my beautiful Gainer-Mindens. As we all know, Gainer-Mindens are designed in New York. They are made in Europe. They have really no details on the sole. They are just stunning. A lot of people are against Gainer-Mindens because they're not made in the traditional pointe shoe way. They don't break down, which is great for people with really flexible feet and strong feet like mine. I, as you can see, have sewn the ribbons and the elastic. Well, actually, I lie. I didn't sew them on, Mum did. I just gave them to her. She does everyone else's here at the studio. So I was like, here you go, Mum. Can you do mine? She hates sewing Gainer-Mindens because the fabric is it's just so tough. I'm trying to explain this over camera. It is so tough. So she refuses. She said, Georgia, if you're going to buy another pair of these, you can sew your own ribbons on, which I understand and get. But they have a beautiful little elastic drawstring, which I like. There is no evidence of it here, which I also like. So see how on like a pair of block shoes or even the Repetto shoes had it, your drawstring is at the front and very visible, so you have to tuck it in. I just love a Gainer-Minden pointe shoe. they're just my favorite. They're just beautiful. They're just stunning. I love how sleek they are. I never got any kind of like bubbling, which sometimes I would get with other shoes. And they just have this beautiful crisp line, and I've just always loved them. So that's what I wear. That's my little personal collection, and I hope that was a bit of fun.